You know there's something really wrong in the world happening when even the Fox propaganda outlet is starting to make sense and tell a little bit of truth, because it so rarely happens. But we are seeing that more and more when it comes to tariffs, with some hosts actually coming out and telling the truth that Donald Trump's tariffs are going to have a devastating impact and already have. And we saw it this morning with Steve Doocy confronting Trump live on air over the Americans who are already losing their jobs and their businesses because of these tariffs. It is crazy to see how many Republicans are actually turning on Trump over this. And it's not surprising that he is freaking out because of it, which is exactly what happened. We're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you, leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we get into Steve Doocy's takedown this morning, first I want to surprisingly hear from Ted Cruz, who gave a warning to Trump that I think is really important on this messaging, in a clip last night right here.
That's a great outcome. President Trump has the opportunity for the most extraordinary economic win for the American people right now by making a deal, by saying, let's cut a deal. But on the other hand, and I do want to give a word of warning, there are voices in the administration that rather than take a deal are saying we want to have tariffs as a long-term permanent feature of the economy. I think that'd be a mistake. If a year from now, our trading partners have all jacked up tariffs on America and we have high tariffs on everyone, I think that'll hurt this country.
I cannot believe that I am agreeing with Ted Cruz right now. I think Ted Cruz is actually agreeing with us because we were the ones warning about this. So let's not get it twisted, right? We're not all in this together. They are coming over to our team temporarily, Team Truth, Team like Earth One Sanity. But what Ted Cruz is also laying out here is one of the problems with tariffs that isn't being talked about enough, and that is the messaging on them. Do you want to keep these tariffs long-term, or are they a negotiating tactic? It is the chaos that is causing so much disruption in the market. And when Carolyn Levitt was asked about it yesterday, she said, well, we're doing both, of course, which doesn't make any sense, because none of it makes sense, because the man who is putting them in place doesn't understand what he wants. He just wants to scream and say the word because he thinks it's so beautiful, without caring about the actual cost, which is, like I said, surprisingly, what Steve Doocy laid out this morning in a scathing takedown of Trump that I'm going to check out in full because the end is really important.
There's an item in the New York Post that we all have in front of us. It's an exclusive story, and it talks about how with these 104% tariffs that went into effect, you know, we think that China is going to have to pay for it, but it tells a story of a special needs toy importer. And when the tariffs went into effect at midnight, his tariff, he's been paying a tariff because he gets stuff from China, $26,000 a year. His tariff bill went from $26,000 at midnight to $346,000. And that's money he's going to have to come out of his pocket. It sounds like he's going to have to go ahead and close down part of his business. He tried to make the toys in the United States, but the tariff on that, his most popular item, went from $0 to $17 at midnight. And what he told the New York Post is people don't understand the tariff situation. They think just foreign countries are paying for the tariffs. That's not true. Half of the tariffs are being paid for by U.S.-based companies. Yeah. So when you look at the big numbers and they look good, just remember that according to this guy, half of the small businesses and half of the tariffs are being paid by Americans.
Well, I'll say this. I'm still holding back judgment on this because I feel like we may be missing something here. And the way I look at it is I have two groups of friends. I have my more wealthy friends, the ones that are on Wall Street and all that. And then I have my friends that are in the farming community, middle class. They're cheering it on. Yeah. Meanwhile, my friends that are more rich and wealthy are ticked off. Huh. And so they're, look, I watched the president yesterday, even with those miners yesterday, and they're cheering them on as well. Sure. I think the elites have gotten used to a certain lifestyle and what we're invested in the market and all that. But he's fighting for the little guy right now. So I think we may just want to hold on and see what happens. If they start to turn on it, then I think we have a different ball game
like
here.
Caroline said, he's going to punch back. And when China last week, when we have those reciprocal tariffs on them, then China puts reciprocal tariffs on us. So then on Monday, President said, okay, 50% more for you, China. Yeah, we're not playing this game. And they asked, what about China? He said, you know, they're proud people. So they want to negotiate. They're just not, we're working on that now. But and Jamison Greer yesterday, when he testified to the senators, he said, to your point, Steve, to your toy maker, it may be challenging at times and in a moment of drastic overdue change.
Well, the problem is, you know, like that guy in Idaho, he might have to go out of business.
It was that final line that I wanted to hear. And you saw the bickering back and forth from the Fox host, the one trying to, you know, sell this story about his friends on Main Street, not Wall Street. Love it, which is just not true. When the stock market crashes, people lose their jobs, they lose their retirement savings. The consumer confidence index is continuing to plummet. People don't want to go out and spend money. Small businesses shut down. They don't have all this cash on hand. They can't get bailouts from the government. This is going to affect people. But it was that last line. People are going out of business that hits so hard. People are going to lose their jobs. We are going to enter a recession, and it will be because of Donald Trump. And he is clearly panicking at that fact with a couple of Truth Social posts we see right here. This is a great time to buy DJT. Also writing, be cool. Everything is going to work out well. The USA will be bigger and better than ever. I don't know if he was saying that it's a great time to buy his stock. It's certainly not. That stock is also tanking. With the markets going down, it's not being spared. So maybe that'll change Donald Trump's mind now that his Truth Social stock is crashing. But we're not going to be bigger than ever. We are like explicitly smaller. It's a recession. We're receding. Growth is slowing. That is the whole thing. That is what we are warning of, that people will lose their jobs, that our workforce will be diminished, that you're not bringing back manufacturing. And I just have to continue to come back to this point. Howard Lutnick said that the manufacturing jobs that are coming back to America are millions of manufacturing jobs of people like screwing things into iPhones that's done in China or is done by just like machines eventually, just done by robots. And as Trump said yesterday, it is the contradiction that is in this administration that makes these already stupid policies so much worse, is we don't know the outcome that they want out of this. Donald Trump just says it's going to be big and it's going to be a boom and it's going to be a win and it's going to be huge, but he doesn't say how. That is what the skepticism is, aside from the fact that this is a moron who bankrupted 6 companies, including a casino running our economy. And it's why Jared Moskowitz pulled no punches in calling him out right here.
Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. What impact is this escalating trade war having on your district down in Florida?
Well, good morning, Wolf. It's good to be with you. But yeah, we are in an active trade war, both with China and Europe. I mean, many people obviously talked about what President Trump wanted to accomplish, which was to take America backwards. We didn't know we'd go 10,000 years to bring back the dire wolf and go back to the tax policy of 1930. This is going to be the largest tax hike on the American people. Wolf, I don't know if it's too early for one of your Wolf spritzers, but a lot of people are very worried about what's happening to their 401ks, their pensions, their retirements, and their businesses. And my Republican colleagues on the House are silent. President Trump has the wheel, and there are absolutely no brakes on what is coming with the largest tax increase to the American people based on this tariff war.
The Trump administration, Congressman, says multiple foreign countries are coming to the negotiating table. Is it possible the president's strategy could work out in the long run, even if it means some serious short-term pain?
Well, let me say this, okay? I think at the end of the day that we should be fixing our supply chain. As the former director of emergency management, I saw during COVID the breaks of our supply chain. I do think we should be onshoring some of these jobs back to America, but the execution of this is totally chaotic and a disaster. We didn't have to tariff the whole world at the same time. We could have focused on China and then some other areas. Now the problem is the whole world is coming with meetings, and you can't take these meetings fast enough. You can't make all of these deals fast enough. And so we're going to feel the pain. I don't remember any time the president standing at the podium saying that he was going to take 7,000 points off of the stock market, tens of trillions of dollars wiping out from the economy in order to accomplish that goal. That's what people have a problem with. It's not necessarily the idea of onshoring jobs back. It is the method. It is the execution. But also the mixed messaging from the White House has been disastrous. They've talked about people making, putting in these tiny screws into iPhones, or there'll be plenty of jobs for robots. I didn't know there was a robot union, but now we know. So the problem is there's no direction. It's completely unclear. And that's why you even see Elon Musk taking shots at the mastermind of all of this, Peter Navarro.
Yeah, those shots have been serious. So right now, Congressman, most Republicans are at least willing to give Trump a chance to carry out his trade strategy. How bad will things have to get before Republicans, where you are in the House, change course?
Oh, Wolf, we're testing that theory. Remember when Donald Trump said he could shoot someone in Fifth Avenue and get away with it? Boy, was he right. Again, 7,000 points off the stock market. If Joe Biden had wiped out 7,000 points on the stock market, we'd be in the middle of impeachment hearings if the Republicans had the House and the Senate. And so, look, I don't know, is the number 35, 32, 29? I don't know where that floor is for the market or Republicans to grow a backbone, but they are definitely more scared of Donald Trump than they are of their own constituents.
Polling, as you know, national polling shows approval of your Democratic Party at an all-time low right now. Do Democrats have enough credibility with voters out there to make the case against Trump's economic strategy?
I think we do if we stay focused. The problem is, because Trump is so good at creating chaos and throwing so many things at the wall, we can't be like squirrels trying to attack all of them. We got to stay focused with a very singular message. And right now that message is tariffs, and the stock market and the cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. That has to be the focus. We all need to be singing from the same sheet of music. But obviously, we have to earn some of that trust back from voters. We got to make sure that we're on the right side of these 80-20 issues that are out there that are a distraction from the bigger things like, this large tax increase and the cuts to Medicaid. But we have to be in sync and in line with the American people on those 80-20 issues.
The tariffs are a disaster. That's the long and the short of it. This is a nonsense policy from an absolute moron. Let's just be honest. Donald Trump is not a smart person, and they shouldn't be treated any differently. I didn't say this earlier, but I should now. Steve Doocy saying that, wow, a lot of people didn't know that we paid the tariffs. You didn't tell them. That didn't change. That's not new. This is on you guys. I just can't believe it. I didn't want to give too much credit to Fox in this episode, and we're not gonna give them any credit. It's good that Steve Doocy said the truth, but a little too late there, buddy. A little too late. But we will always be saying the truth right on time. And if you want to support that and what we're doing on this channel, independent media, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.